reality show. Please welcome Mr. Vikas Mohan Khosla with your host, Mr. Sam CAWTHORN.
Yeah, guys, I'm super excited today. We have Vikas here in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for calling me, Sam.
Now, you are you're a coach, you're a keynote speaker on success principles, but you're recently about to launch a book, and
Yes.
it's called Fall Flat to Stand Tall. What do you mean by that?
Fall flat to stand tall is something which I have gone through. You know, the thing is, you fall flat, you have a choice either to stay there or to stand tall again and win one more time.
Yes.
Basically, just to be a winner one more time, win again.
Yeah. And do you think everyone falls flat?
Everybody, in every field, you have to fall flat. Nobody has been an instant success. An instant success takes 20 years to make.
Yes. That's really, really important, eh? Hey, look, I'd love to hear more about that, because I'm sure there are people even that might be watching that have actually, might even be really stuck and feel as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel, they've fallen flat, whatever. But before we do that, share with us a little bit more about your journey. Where did you grow up? What was your career path? We'd like to know more about your story. What's your story?
I was born in Calcutta, but just born there. But everything else is here in Mumbai.
Yeah.
And I've educated over here, got married here, had kids over here. I joined my father's export business right when I was 16 years of age.
Yeah.
So I've been in business for 30 years. I'm 46 right now.
Wow.
And after that, I started a couple of more businesses. And then my biggest learning curve, the biggest learning experience was when I suffered a major loss in my printing business.
Okay.
I had a loss of 4 crores in the printing business in the year 2009. It was a goal to make 4 crores. But there I was, absolutely fallen flat on the ground, lost 4 crores, did not know what to do. And
So what actually happened? Did you lose some clients, or was it more in and around you? You know, you invested a little bit too much, someone stole it. Do you mind if I ask?
Oh, sure. You know, misery loves company, and they never come alone. You know, they come in groups. All problems always come in groups. So I invested money, lost there. Clients did not pay me. Had a big order, did a big mistake, lost money over there. Bought property, lost money over there. It's like you could touch everything, and instead of turning it to gold, we turned it to dust. Anything that we would do. So 2009, 10, 11, 12 were really a tough time, and I was absolutely fallen flat. No light at the end of the tunnel. I never knew that what would happen the next day, because every day was a challenge. Every day, you know, bankers, lenders, friends asking, when will you pay me? And I didn't have an answer. I just didn't know when and how I will pay you. And the only thing I knew was, let me pass today's day. And if I would have even ended my life, my insurance wouldn't pay 4 crores. And insurance never pays if you commit suicide. You see? And I said, then I have to fight. You know, I had 2 options, either to fly or to fight. And I took one day at a time. In fact, 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, and then 1 hour. I was like, oh, 1 hour's gone. Today is Saturday evening. Thank God. Now I'll see what to do on Monday morning. Because I said one thing at a time. Let the time pass. Because nothing happens in a jiffy. Everything takes time. I understood a lot of stuff during that period. My biggest learning came. My strengths, or the biggest challenge of my life, became my biggest learning curve. What I learned from failures and the setbacks and adversities, success never taught me.
Wow.
You always learn more from adversities.
So clearly you got through it.
Yes.
And then what? What do you do now?
Right now, I am running 5 businesses.
Okay. Only 5.
Only 5 businesses. 1 wife, 2 sons, along with those 5 businesses. And I spend a lot of time training and coaching people on facing failures, facing adversities. Because in today's world, there is a lot of success is glorified and failure is looked down upon.
Yeah.
You can go to anybody's Facebook or any account on the social media.
Everyone
Everyone
talking
is
about
happy.
success. Yes, yes.
Nobody writes, I've lost my job.
Yes.
I've lost money. I'm having problems in my relationships. Because that's not shown to the world. And that's why you feel, this guy was right. Why did he commit suicide? Everything was fine. He looked so happy. You see, people have not been trained and they have not learned to face failures, accept failures and talk about it.
And so then they don't try things because they don't want to fail. Is that right?
Yes, they don't. They don't. And I think one of my biggest strengths, I just realized while I was talking to you, was people hide from the failures. And because I didn't have any options.
Is it shameful in a way?
Very shameful. Yeah. Very shameful. Because 9, 10, and 11, 3 years, I was in a shell like a tortoise. Everything
Guilt,
got
shame,
shame, don't want to go out, didn't meet friends,
Yeah.
didn't go out to party. There was no money to party. There was no money to fill petrol in the bike. So, and then when I realized I'll take responsibility, I opened up and I told people I suffered a loss of 4 crores. I was open about it. And I didn't care whether they looked down upon me, they thought this guy is courageous, or whether they thought, will he ever pay me back? Because people who loan you money, they say, how will he pay? Exactly. So, one of my relatives told me, your life is over. To pay back 4 crores, it will take you at least 20 years. And by God's grace, by God's blessing and that determination, by 2016, just 3 years back, we paid back all the loans. I don't owe money to people. I don't have a loan on any of my 5 companies right now, except for property loans, which is a very good loan in India.
Yeah. Hey, look, congratulations. And what a really inspiring story. And I'm sure there might be even people that are watching right now that, let's say, they might be really stuck in their relationships, in their finances, etc., etc. What would you say to them? How, they have fallen flat.
Yeah.
And so how can they stand tall?
Sure. The first thing what I always say is accept that you have fallen flat. Don't hide, don't run away. You accept that, okay, things have gone wrong. And accept it that it is you. Yes. Don't blame on the government, on the spouse, on the children, on the partner, on the competitor, on low profit margin. Yes. No, don't blame anybody else. You are to be blamed or you are to be taken responsible. More than blame, I would say, you take the responsibility. When you take responsibility, you give power to yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, and then you realize that if I am responsible for putting myself there, then I am the only person who's responsible for picking me up back.
That's right.
And stand tall.
That's right.
Once again, and to be a winner once again. So take responsibility.
Take responsibility.
Number one, take responsibility. Right. And don't expect somebody to give you a magic wand to turn your life around.
Or someone knocking on the door. Yeah. There it is.
There is your 5 million US dollars. No. In fact, people who win 5 million US dollars, you can track any of the people. 5 years later, they are worse than where they were before they got the 5 million US dollars.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Very interesting.
So take one thing at a time, one day at a time, one challenge at a time, and over a period of a certain period, and as you grow, things will change.
Very good.
And the third thing I realized, if I can just share, what changed my life was for myself looking at a bigger perspective and then looking out at people who can be helped, to give. What happened was, just a very quick, we used to, when we were growing in the business, 2007 and 8, we used to support certain charities and people and do certain social causes. But here I have suffered a loss of 4 crores. I don't have money to put petrol in my vehicle. Then how can I help somebody? And there was this man that day, he came, he was in a very, very bad state. And he just didn't know what to do. And he really needed money. Somebody very dear to him was in the hospital. It was a very big challenge. Okay. And he asked for 10,000 rupees. And I said, what do I do? And I said, I cannot give him. I am charity today. How do I pay him? But what happened was, I said, I'm suffering losses on a daily basis. Let me help him. God will take care of me. And I arranged 10,000 rupees, Sam. I gave him 10,000 rupees. And I felt so happy after 3 years or 4 years. I've done something big. I forgot about 4 crores. The pressure was not there on me. And I said, God is there to take care of me, and He's made me a channel to help Him. Why not let the things happen to Him? And I started helping people, and I got focused on helping others and not on my problems.
That is brilliant.
That changed.
And that's where your happiness and fulfillment was birthed. Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously you got to take responsibility for people in order to go from falling flat to stand tall. And the second one was?
To take one thing at a time,
Take
one step at a time.
Step at a time. Very, very good. Is there a third one?
The giving.
The giving. Great.
It changes your mindset.
Yes.
You get a feeling that I have an abundance.
Okay.
When I give somebody, you think, I don't have, how can I give?
Huh.
But you say, I have abundance
Yes.
here, how can I help you?
That's
So
right.
that abundance feeling came into my mind and my heart. That changed the programming.
What's next?
Next for me is I've been coaching and training people on a one-on-one basis, but now I want to reach out to more people. I want to impact more lives.
Okay.
I want to change life, shape destinies.
Right,
And that's why I want to reach out to people from different stages of the world and speak to them and tell them to stand tall once more time.
Very good.
Be proud of your failures, because you will become what you are because of those failures.
Very good.
If I had not suffered a loss of 4 crores, I
Yes.
wouldn't be sitting right here in front of you.
Yes, correct.
Life would have just happened the way it was.
Yeah, I can see big things happening, and certainly watch this space, guys. Hey, look, thank you so much for joining us here on the Celebrity Authority Show.
Thank you
Look,
so
just
much.
before you go, we have a challenge.
Oh.
And our challenge is 10 questions in 60-second challenge. So, Vikas, do you accept the challenge?
I got to.
All right. Your time starts now. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite food?
Butter chicken.
Oh, very good. Favorite celebrity?
Tony Robbins.
Favorite actor?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Favorite professional speaker?
Sam CAWTHORN.
Oh, thank you. Favorite book?
Magic of Thinking Big.
Who wrote that? I've read that one.
Mark.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
a
find it.
phenomenal
yeah,
book.
it
I've
is.
read that book
Brilliant.
every year, once a year for last 10 years.
Really? Favorite movie?
The Rocky series of Sylvester Stallone, Rocky
come
Balboa.
on, yes. Favorite city?
I like Dubai.
Favorite drink?
Fresh lime soda.
Favorite pizza topping?
Olives.
Olives. I love olives as well. And Vikas, if you could be an animal, which animal would you be?
I would be an elephant.
Why an elephant?
It's strong.
Yes.
It's robust.
Yes.
But still very humble.
Awesome.
And people clear the way when the elephant walks.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Celebrity Authority Show. Very good.